This is Bitcoin futures. Bitcoin futures didn't really trade as I anticipated this week. I thought the market may just move higher this week, and it did attempt to move higher initially like that, but then there was some supply drawn out. Price pushed all the way back like that in response to the supply before recovering modestly later in the week to close almost at mid-bar and adjacent to the previous close. I expect this will prove to be absorption. What you've effectively had is a push higher, a fade lower, and then a recovery like that over the week. And that is often seen when the market's absorbing supply, sort of like a buy the offer bar. So I'll look at that as an attempt to absorb supply at this point in time, and perhaps we'll see the attempt to push higher in response next week, and more likely up to this level. I don't think it'll move up to that level unless there was some super strong move for some reason. Much more likely, if this market's going to move higher, it'll be up to this level initially. And if there is weakness in the market, you'll more than likely see a test for supply like this over a few days, just to see how much supply is actually being drawn out of this market. There should be support found at this level and some moderate support at that bar's low there. So I expect this week's bar was some form of absorption, perhaps a little unorthodox in the position that it's in at the moment, but markets aren't always going to do what you expect. And with the push higher, fade lower, and then recovery this week, that's a real classic sign of absorption. And in response to that, you'll often see a push higher, perhaps following a test for supply. So that's what we'll look for this week.